Hi, sorry to be a few minutes late, more than a few minutes late. We had, not going to believe it, a little bit of fun with HRH this afternoon when she decided that she wanted to play with some of the hair colors that we've been experimenting with in the house and wanted to paint the floor of the bathroom green with the hair dye on our tile floor that soaks up all the color. So we have been desperately Googling how to get semi-permanent hair dye out of white tile and working towards that for most of the afternoon. So I apologize for being late. I did totally lose track of time. And knowing that I was going to go live on all of the platforms simultaneously, which I have not done in a while and won't be able to do again for a while. Today's a little bit special. I got to talk through our brand new app, going to answer a couple of questions and talk a little bit about this super fun thing. Whoop, whoop. What is that? I'll tell you in a minute. Before I go any further, I want to thank you for being here and thank you for tuning in. I've been hearing this a lot for a while. When we first opened the doors, people were like, you know what? Don't want an app. I already get too many notifications. And if I get another app, I'm just going to turn the notifications off. And I was like, well, okay. It came with the suite that I'd already purchased. So it was a little difficult to hear, oh, you don't want this thing I just invested money in. So I've been working on it quietly behind the scenes over time, thinking the way things are going, people are going to want to get away from Facebook eventually. And last year, it kind of felt like we got there. The desire to get off of Facebook was increasing at an increasing rate. So we decided to pull the app out of obscurity. Worked on it a lot with the developers, saying this is what I want it to do, this is what I don't want it to do. Now this app cannot do everything. If I took all of the original demands of what people would like an app to do, it would cost like $100,000, and we can't justify that. For what we wanted was a simple place where we could have communities share pictures, talk to each other with no mandate to do so, and really try to keep it as simple, as streamlined as possible. So if you love the Facebook groups, those are not going away. Don't worry. I am talking to the people who don't use Facebook. And I know the irony of this is that I'm on Facebook right now explaining this, but there aren't many ways that I can get a live stream to you other than Facebook and YouTube. So first I want to talk a little bit about the app, show it how it navigates, and then I'll go through everything else. So you will be asked, there's a link in the description of this webcast right now, and you can go click that link and you'll be asked to download something called Fit by Wix. Wix is our website host. So this is the simplified version of the app. There'll be once it can do all the things that I want it to do and that you want it to do, we'll be rolling out a branded app in the next couple of years. Again, this doesn't feel like the right year for it. In a year where things are kind of easygoing, I'm not going to go hardcore in technology until there's really, really a good reason to. So I think it's pretty cool when you come here. I'm sorry, I know it's really hard to see, and I should have thought that through a little bit better before I got started. But if you click the link, you can download our app. And on the app, the very first thing you see is the blog and the blog post that I was struggling to finish and hit send on before I started this broadcast. If you are a subscriber to the Run plan or to the Strength plan, we call it the Extra Mile with Janet, then you will be able to access, if you are logged into your account, and the account with Fitness Protection that you log into online to get your monthly plan is the same account that you log in the app with. And if not, reach out to me. If you've got two separate accounts, we'll merge them together. I'll fix it, but you got to tell me if there's a problem. I can't help you if I don't know that there's a problem. So you can go there and there are now a couple of ways to get the links for February. This has been a frustration for me in the past because there's no way on the Wix back end, and they don't want to give it to you, that to just email current subscribers. I have to keep a running list, and that's in an Excel file, and that list is imperfect. There's no automated flow each month for that because they want you to come in and pay them money to use, which I refuse to do. If I'm going to give them money, it's going to be for an app that makes their functionality better, not something really basic that should have been included with the cost. So I know this is a pain for everybody, and I'm sorry, but I'm sticking with this and yelling at the development team every opportunity I get to say this is really basic and should exist. One thing I can do very easily, though, rather than email everyone all at once, is since Wix wants to keep that proprietary, I can say, well, I can give you exclusive access to subscriber only posts. This feature did not work a couple years ago, but it did now. You've got the links directly to the everything's right there, everything you need for February in that post. If you are unable to access it and you are a subscriber, again, you've got to let me know. You're probably logged in with a different account. There are only two ways currently to create an account. One is with Google, with your Gmail account, and the other is with Facebook. So as long as you remember which one of the two you used, try the other one. If neither one works, reach out to me. I will find a way to fix it. Okay, so then you have all your links and all the reminders, all the preload photos. What is easy effort? What is 10K effort? All of that lives on the blog now. For a while, I will continue to send you notifications like, hey, February's up, March is up. There are all the links. I'll send that in an email form that'll redirect you either to the membership area of the site, which is still a little clunky. I really prefer the look and feel of these exclusive subscribers only blog posts. And if this works for you, though, you got to let me know. I'm asking everyone, if you're able to access that post, like it, comment on it, say like, yes, I like this, because I'm fully aware that like I get a lot of email to y'all and things go to spam that I don't want to go to spam all the time. But if you don't use notifications on an app, don't check your spam folder, and don't communicate with me, then I don't know what isn't working for you. So please get in there, get in office hours, talk to me, like and comment, respond to the emails, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be mad at any of it. I just need to know what you're using and why, or why you aren't, I suppose. So I heard you. A whole lot of people were like, I want to keep working with you, but I don't want to use Facebook anymore. Cool. Solution. Let's do this. Okay. It's not a perfect solution, but it is a very good, albeit slightly imperfect. It is a very good replacement for the Facebook community. We have, so on the second, if you download it and move over, you see the second tab says groups. So the first one says blog and the second one says groups. And in there, it says, so we've got two groups right now. One is the run group and I accidentally added everyone. It's the app to it. We're going to be fixing that. This is things that happen when the baby falls asleep in my lap, and I've only got one arm because she's sitting on top of the other one, and I hit invite all instead of invite subscribers. So oops, if you are in the run group, you will no longer have access to it come March. We just decided to let everybody stay in there for the first month while we get to use to the way it works and see if there are any more changes that need to be made. So we have two groups. We have the run group and the extra mile group. If you are not using the extra mile and you're interested in it, what I know I've sent you a lot of emails about it, but I want you to understand what it is. Very similar to the run plans. Coach Janet goes live every single day, building off of the programming that I do for the month. And she designs a slightly longer strength circuit. So she starts with the base that I give her, and then like she expands a little bit further, and we don't really care. We wanted to design an option. So think about a buffet. You don't want every single thing on the buffet. You might go to a buffet because there are at least two things on there that you want, maybe not at the same time, but that's what kind of brings you in. So that is what I was very much thinking of. What if this was just a fitness buffet that had a lot of really great options, and it wasn't contingent upon showing up last week or how many times you showed up? Because rather than writing a progressive plan where week 2 is harder than week 1, et cetera, how about if we just had a strength program that was designed the same way as our run programs, that starts from a very attainable base, and throughout the month gives you the option to build on it, but you don't have to. So if you only show up 4 days a month, guess what? That's 4 days of strength that you would not have gotten otherwise. And if you enjoy it, you can always come back and do more, but she is there going live in the app every single morning. Actually, she goes live in Zoom, and then we post the links in the app rather than email to everyone and clog up your inbox on an everyday basis. I post the links in the app, and you can go in there and grab them out of the Extra Mile group or not. And as of right now, we're not making any changes again to what we do in the Facebook groups. This is how we are presenting. The Extra Mile, though. So it's a lot less pressure and nowhere near as hard as any of the burn programs. But I don't think anyone wants the hard of any of the burn programs right now. Finally, the other things that we can do in the app, not fully fleshed out yet. We're getting there. These are the two biggest pieces of functionality that I really wanted to have. A blog that is That's just, all the MK that you might want, bless your heart, and as well as the ability to get subscribers only content without having to go through the clunky back end of the website that I know is really imperfect month after month. And I think it's working pretty well. Feedback's been really good, or at least people have been really kind about it. And I thank you for that a lot. So that is the app and the brief introduction that I couldn't show you more of, even though I'd really wanted to on the screen, and I'm sorry. So I'm a little flustered from having been on my knees trying to clean up a very green bathroom, mermaid green to be exact. Thank you, Joico. It is just as hard to get out of tile as it is to get out of hair, but you want hair color to be hard to get out of hair. You don't want it on a tile floor. Thank you, Violet. So here we go. Anna Sorensen did have a really great point. And this is something I've learned the hard way too, and this is something to know, and that's on me, and I won't really be doing it anymore. So the links that I post to Zoom in the Run group on the app work really well. Links to the blog redirect not to the blog in the app. So I'm going to be talking to them and working that out. I'm not going to be pasting links to the blog in the app until the developers have fixed that error. So Anna, thank you again for pointing that out. You're absolutely right. If you were clicking on links in the app and you were being redirected to somewhere that made it seem like you didn't have access, that's legitimate. That's on Wix, and we're going to get them to fix it. But for now, again, apologies there. That is one limit. So if anyone tried to click the links and were confused, again, that's on me and on Wix, and I'm going to work it out. And I really do apologize for that. Now, before I get into the other questions for Ask Away, I wanted to come back to this. Yay. One of the questions that I got that I've been getting in Ask Away, in office hours for the past couple of weeks, has been from frontline healthcare providers. And not just, if you're thinking I'm talking about you, I'm talking about all of you. This question's come up more than once. And I know I've said more than once that I'm going to share this, and I keep forgetting. But this is a year where Janet is freezing in Florida because she doesn't have heat in her house. And I'm sitting here in Denver in the middle of winter in a tank top. So who knows what's going to happen next. But what I do know is that you're going to need water every single day. It's important. And it can be really hard if you're a frontline healthcare worker and you spend most of your day behind a mask and a shield. So we got these at the beginning of the pandemic for that reason, because we were wearing masks and shields a lot. Not the shields so much anymore, but the masks most of the time. So this is to give you perspective on how long this thing is. This is a silicone straw. They sell them in packs of 12 on Amazon for like $3. And this is how ridiculously long the straw is. And it's also super flexible because it's silicone. So this is probably the best solution that I found to trying to get water up underneath a mask and a shield. So I'll post the link in the comments a little bit later after this broadcast. But yeah, if you are having trouble, if you're finding yourself dehydrated because you're spending so much time behind a mask and a shield at work, these silicone straws are a really great solution because they're super bendy and can get behind, around, and through just about anything. And it looks kind of ridiculous. You just got to remember, it probably weighs more than the cup. So fold it over when you set the cup down. True story. Things we've learned the hard way on more than one occasion. So there's that. Next thing, I want to thank everyone who reached out. Speaking of frontline healthcare workers, I'm a little embarrassed to admit, I saw the headline last week, Neil Young pulls his entire catalog from Spotify. And I was like, go Neil Young. I'm a Cold War kid, majored in Russian in the 90s. Let me tell you, I love a good protest. It's the most American thing I can think of. I love protests. I love freedom of speech, patriot through and through. That's really what it means to me to be an American. So, but I didn't really connect the dots there. And I guess I should have. I was like, artists might be protesting against Spotify. Did not realize that there was a bigger movement for frontline healthcare workers to also boycott Spotify. So since I make the Spotify playlist every month, I have now made it available on Apple Music, Apple Music. And I just emailed the link to everyone. If that works better for you, again, please let me know. I chose Spotify originally, not just because it's free, but because it was easy and because it gives me data. You can like the playlist, you can share the playlist, you can comment on the playlist. I can see how many people look at the playlist, how many people click the link, how many people. I get so much data from Spotify about how you use it that I can make guesses even if you don't tell me anything. I don't really get that from any other service that allows you to create a playlist and share it with your friends. And there aren't that many music services that work on all platforms. Apple Music, I think, pretty much only works on iPhones and Apple devices. So if there is something better than Spotify, better than Apple Music that you already use, do let me know. I used to use Google Music, but then it went away, became YouTube Music, and I stopped using it years ago. I think it was like 2018 when that handover happened. So I've never used Pandora. I think maybe I might have used it for a while when I was in college, but that was 20 years ago in the 90s when I was studying Russian. So I'm sure Pandora's come a long way. I just don't hear the word bandied about that much. Whatever your choice, if there's a better way for me to create and share playlists, one that's already on your phone that you already use and that you are not boycotting at the moment, do let me know and I will try to either change what I do to make things more accessible to you as much as possible and whenever possible. I think that's all that we have. Any questions, any more questions with the app or any more specifications y'all need, do let me know. I really want to be able to deliver more things through the app too, but we got to work our way up to it because I don't want to bombard you. If you download the app, please, please, please go into settings and turn on notifications. I promise you will only get notifications when I post announcements or when I post in the groups that you are a member of. You will not be getting notifications day in and day out. You will not be getting multiple notifications multiple times a day. I promise. That's not what I want. I want it, but again, if you don't respond to the notifications, your phone will stop showing them to you, and then we'll be right back where we were with email and going to your spam folder because you never open it, et cetera, and that's really not where we want to be. So if you can take a minute, go mark add mk@fitnessprotection.com to your address book and make sure it never goes to spam. Do a search and make sure if anything's in spam that you filter it out. And if you download this app, leave the notifications on. That way, you know when something is in there that you might want to see. So coming into Ask Away. Don't hear screaming downstairs, which lets me know that no more hair dye has been harmed in the creation of whatever Violet's doing at the moment. Okay, and our weekly wins. Phyllis Kant restarted running after 2 weeks off and is excited to get back in her routine. Congratulations, Phyllis. I know that I can't wait to get back in my running routine. If y'all can see from my red face, I was recently this past week diagnosed with something called Cushing's, and that means that's why I have this red face. So while I'm getting adapted to all the new normals and figuring out what the next steps are on top of the type 2 diabetes, yay me, I'm going to be jealous of everyone in your running routines because I'm not outside just yet. I will be inside on my Peloton cheering you on as always, but know that whatever you're doing, I'm very, very, very jealous of it. Erin White ran for the first time in 3 weeks and said it was perfection. I loved seeing your Instagram post, Erin. It was super cold, but she got some amazing new fleece pants from Fabletics that were perfect. Adrian Holmes saw this post, bought the same pair of pants, ran in them today, and loved them as well. So there you go. Go check it out in the app. The links are up in there in the run group where these ladies talked about running in cold weather, something I'm not doing at the moment. But in Denver, again, I'm wearing a tank top while Janet in Florida is wearing a sweater and going to the beach for warmth because her house does not have heating. Who needs heating in Florida? Thank you, 2021. Thinking of this week, we're thinking of Karen Schluter, who fell and had to get 14 stitches in her leg. That's a lot of stitches. Karen, we love you, and I'm so sorry this happened. Also, if any of you, I've been coaching for a while in my very first season as a coach with my previous employer in 2016, I believe it was. I think it was the first season. We had a client from South Dakota named Karen Olson, and she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on December the 8th, and was was seeming better after showing some signs of improvement. We've been told today that this might be her last night. So if you know her, it might be a good time to reach out and say hi. If you're a praying sort, send prayers of good vibes, thoughts to her husband and her children. This sucks. It absolutely sucks. But just because it's sucky and sad and we can't do anything other than say hopes and prayers and thoughts and prayers, doesn't mean we can't do at least that. So my heart's breaking for her, the family, and the run community. She was an avid runner, and I hate to see this happen to anybody, which is a good time as a coach to remind you, please go get your yearly checkup. You want complete blood tests, metabolic panels, CBC, which is your blood counts. Even if you've been healthy this whole time, don't talk yourself out of it by saying it's a pandemic and there are people who need it more. You deserve it too. Please, please, please go get your yearly physical, your yearly checkup, and demand some labs. Leaving this stuff till it's too late, or assuming that everything is a virus and it's not deadly and it's not going to go away. I'm not saying that's what Karen did. She didn't. But I just want to beg you not to be dismissive. Part of anything that might be wrong with your body. Hey, it's how I found out why I had a red face. And it turns out it was something a whole lot more than that. So I'm begging you, please, if you have not done it yet this year, go ahead and schedule your yearly physical. Okay, and moving on to questions. I'm experiencing something I've never had an issue with before. Skiing up hills on my skate skis, I'm getting very nauseous. Well, I get nauseous when I think about skate skis. That's hard. Ugh, that's really hard work, man. That's a lot of glutes, and that's hard. If I don't stop at the top and rest, I fear the worst. It's because you're on skate skis. I've skied for 38 winters now, and this is new. No changes in anything. Nutrition and hydration is the same. Is it that I'm older and my body isn't adjusting to the demands? Doubt it. Do I need to adjust my hydration to improve my electrolytes? Any thoughts are appreciated. As a follow-up, I made sure to get protein at breakfast, slowed my pace, dressed lighter, and sipped Tailwind this morning. 9.5 miles and no nausea, which was so great. No idea what's going on, but it sure ruins my fun when it happens. Now, there are two things that accompany nausea. One is an incredibly high heart rate. So like I said, skate skiing is hard, mainly because you're on really short skis going uphill, and that is super hard work. And it's a much harder strain on your cardiovascular system than running itself is. So let's start there. It's not even about altitude. It's about how hard what you're asking your lungs to do. And in a time when we've been a bit more sedentary over the year, a lot of us working from home, we're not getting we're not walking as much each day as we are when we're going to the office. And in the past, that can very much be a part of it. Drier air can be very much a part of it. Pollen in the air can be very much a part of it. So there's a lot that goes into the hydration piece, and it seems like you're nailing it. Tailwind is really great. I think it has more sugar than what I normally like in it, but for an activity, that's because I don't do activities like skate skiing because it's hard, y'all. So if you are skate skiing, yes to the Tailwind, yes to the protein, but also part of what's going to be happening with your GI tract is that when there's not enough in it for the demands of what you're doing, when your body's going into not like shock with the capital S, but shock with the small s, that's when we need to think about a couple of days before the event, not the night before. So if you know you're going to go skate skiing on Saturday morning, on Wednesday night and Thursday night, have like an extra half cup of brown rice or some extra fiber at dinner, some sort of low glycemic index type of vegetables or complex carbohydrate. Those will stay in your bowel for a couple of days. What a great thought. But that will be something that your body can draw energy from in those moments when you're giving it the mini shock, like I just described. So that nausea comes from not having what your body needs to do the thing at that moment, especially if that thing is considerably harder than what you've been doing before. Like, remember how much fun the first tempo run of a training cycle is? Yeah, you run to the bathroom right afterwards. It's normal. This is the same thing. It's not the sort of thing I worry about, but once you've done it one time, the likelihood of it happening the second time is a lot lower because it's not the shock anymore to your body. But having good complex carbohydrates in your gut and upping up on the electrolytes are probably the best things you could do, the smartest things you can do. And hey, congratulations, you did them both. Yay, you. And the final question was, can you talk me through the app? I'm not sure how to find things or how to interact with it. Is all the material on the app, minus the extra paid programming, available elsewhere, or do I need to look in multiple places? Also, on the opposite side, is it possible to get everything from just the app, or will I still need to log on to the website, check emails to see the content? So hopefully my walkthrough helped a little bit. Yes, all the material that you need to get your money's worth out of the membership, whether you're a run subscriber, a strength subscriber, or both. By the way, the best price possible for the strength subscription, the bundle price is $20, and it's going to be going up on February the 1st. So if you think that maybe, just maybe, you might want to try it, I'd say go ahead and lock in that lower price because it's going to be going up after February the 1st. So even if you are not a subscriber, you can get the strength bundled price, the strength subscription at the bundle price today. So all the material in the app and the paid programming should all be available in the app so that you don't have to go to the website anymore. Yay! Unless you want to cancel your account. Boo! Or cancel your subscription, which we really hope you don't want to do. And you shouldn't need to look in multiple places. Everything you need should be, with all the links included, should be right there in the blog on the exclusive blog posts. And then the separate group, the run group, is where the kind of the community lives. And once I can go back to today being the one off because I wanted to explain to and talk about the app and explain to everyone how to use it. Once my lawyer has given me the blessing to go back to public facing content everywhere all the time, then I'll start posting links to these live streams and Ask Away. We'll be back on YouTube again, and I'll be pasting those afterwards in the app as well. So you don't ever have to go to Facebook to see a live stream. And I'm really, really, really sorry. It's sucky how this has worked out for the last 2 months, y'all. I am super duper sorry. There's just nothing I can do about it. But I am doing the best I can to make sure that we get options for those of you who don't use Facebook as quickly as humanly possible. So there's that. You shouldn't need to go dig through emails anymore. Hopefully this answers your questions. If there's anything you need that we can't do right now, again, let me know. It's worth a conversation. I can't promise I can get the app to replace Training Peaks, for example. That's probably not going to happen. There are alternatives to Facebook, to Training Peaks out there, and I don't like any of them. I tried them all before I opened the doors, and I was just like, nope, which is not, I know other people are not me, and they love them, and I just disagree. They probably don't like my earrings either, and I do. I love them. So there's that. So any ideas you have, any feedback, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you need, and let me know how I can coach and love you a little bit better. Thank you for being here this week. Don't forget to sign up for office hours. I've got lots of free slots, and I'm waiting for you. You're coached. You're loved. And whether or not you're using the app, just because you're here, you're winning at life. Yay.